Hi guys, this is the Briar McKenzie Podcast and this is episode 4. So for the past week or so, God has had this theme on my mind about what to talk about on this podcast, and it's sort of a continuation from faith. So it was about a week ago, I opened up an old, I think I have it here, this notebook that I started writing in when I was getting more serious about God and my walk and all that sort of stuff. And so if ever I had a thought come into my mind that I didn't think was my own, I would jot it down. And on the first page when I opened this the other day, I read, I must have been in prayer, and I wrote down, growth happens slowly, but when I obey, it will happen quickly. And so this is what I want to talk about today, this idea around obedience. And I know that word sounds like a bit of a drag. It sounds a bit suppressive, like being told what to do. But this is basically the door or the window to establishing a beautiful faith and relationship in God, in Christ. So faith is the substance of all things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, but comes upon the earth through obedience. So obedience is like the demonstration of faith. It's it being acted out. So quite often, you'll hear, I believe, or I have faith, and this can cover for anything really in life. But it's not until you watch the person and you see what they do that it's revealed to you what they believe. So people can say a lot of things, but sometimes their actions don't match up with what they say. But if you want to get to know what somebody's like or what they believe in, just watch what they do and it will become clear. And it's the same when you're in the faith. So obedience is the demonstration of faith. So faith is basically yielding to God and heeding to his way and allowing him to guide us really, and not letting our lives be led by just our own understanding and our own knowledge. So when we start to obey the Lord, the things that sort of cause us grief, like whether you've got things in your mind that are causing issues, or there's stuff going on in reality in your world with people or work or whatever it is that's causing you grief, all this stuff slowly starts to diminish when you obey Christ. And the reason this is because God is all things holy, all things good. He is all righteous. So the things that are causing us havoc in our minds and in our lives are not of him. He is not of those things. So when we start paying attention to him and walking with him, these things start to subside and fall back. And this was something I discovered in my walk, as I wanted change in my life, and so I was willing to try it. So I started to be obedient, even if I didn't understand and I couldn't quite work out why he was getting me to do these things. But as I went along, I realized that the things that were issues in my life or in my mind that were worrying me, causing anxiousness or whatever, they just started to subside. So I didn't even necessarily need to handle my issues head on. I think in the world, a lot of the times what we do is we think we have an issue, we have to then meddle against it, whether that's something in our minds or something, a conflict that we have with a person. But when you come to the Lord, there's definitely times where he, it's right to, confront a situation, or sometimes you do have to have confrontation with people. But he really leaned on this notion of, but if you abide in me, if you lean into me, those things will sort themselves out. And that's exactly what happens. You don't need to be focusing on them. If your eyes are on him, he sorts everything out. It fixes everything. So The idea is that the obedience needs to become flesh, which means it needs to become part of what we do and how we act. And that is the measure of our faith, through our obedience. So I had some notes that I wrote down. So I just wanted to read you guys. This is just Proverbs 3:5. It says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding." So notice when it says trust with your heart, not with your head. A lot of the time when we want to make our mind up about whether something is real, like is God true and all this stuff, we try to use our intellect and our reasoning and our understanding to put to whether that weighs up as true or not. But faith isn't intellect, it isn't reasoning. So this is why he said, do not lean on your own understanding. Our own understanding is our own intellect in our mind. And this becomes the enemy of our faith because it gets in the way. And when we have too much sort of pride around, okay, I know best, I know what's right for me, like I have all the answers, you don't allow anything else to come in and reveal any truth to you because you have this preconceived notion. So when you do come to God, he asks you to let go of that. Like your understanding has to be subdued to what I'm trying to tell you, because he is greater than us. He is like above us. He doesn't have the limitations that we do. So his thoughts aren't ours, but because he's our creator, it's beneficial for us to listen to him and just trust that what he says is best, So God gave Adam no reason as to why he could not eat from the forbidden fruit, because he wanted to develop Adam's faith in him. If we had all the answers, we wouldn't have a need to build up a relationship with Christ, with God, because we'd be like, well, we know everything. And that's how we live our lives when we're out in the world, when we're without God. We're like, I'm just going off my own understanding and I don't need him because I know what's best for me. But when you come to God, you realize that he holds the power, and it's so beneficial for us to have a relationship with him because we're actually in constant need of him. And when you start to live in his blessings and in his promises, you start to realize that you can't do life without him, and you don't want to, because he helps so much and he gives us things that the world cannot give us. This peace, which it's something you can't see. It's like something internal, or the joy where it doesn't actually matter what's happening in your exterior life. You can still have this beautiful feeling of joy. It's honestly priceless. There's just not those things in the world that you can obtain. There's no way of striving for those things. It's a gift from him. But this dependence upon him is important, and this is why we need him, is because we don't have all the answers, but he does. And so if we keep abiding in him daily and coming back to him daily, we can seek wisdom from him and understanding and love. And this is what helps us as we walk along our path, and it keeps us safe. The safest place for us to be is in the obeying the Lord. Just as for a child, the safest place for them to be is in obeying their parents, so they don't end up getting hurt. Proverbs 1:23 says, if you turn at my reproof, so if you turn and listen to my discipline on your life, behold, I will pour out my spirit to you. I will make my words known to you. So as you step out in faith and do this, he will reveal himself to you, and things will start to make sense, and you'll be like, oh, okay, I get it. And that's exactly what happens. I remember when I was being obedient to what he was saying, I didn't quite understand it. But later on, I started to see the value in the things that he was putting into my life. And so I wanted those things for myself. So my will started to align with his will. And then you're not doing it out of you're not doing it grudgingly or I don't want to do this, but I'm supposed to. He changes your heart and your mind. He renews your mind and your heart, and then you start to want it for yourself, and it makes it so much easier to walk the path. But that comes through doing that hard bit first and just being obedient. It's just like if you wanted to get healthy and you're like, okay, I'm gonna start working out and eating healthy. It feels not nice at the start, and you're like, oh, but you have the faith that one day I'm gonna see results with this. And then you get through that hard period, and then you start to build a little bit of momentum, and you start to see the benefit and the value in eating healthy and doing some exercise. And so you continue on. So it's exactly the same when we come to Christ. He's not just gonna give it all to us. He gives us free will. He doesn't force us to do anything, but he wants us to seek it out and inquire with him. So Proverbs 4:12 says, as you go step by step, the way will open up before you. So he doesn't reveal everything all in one big go. He will direct you one step at a time. And this is actually a really I find it quite a relaxing way to go, because I think a lot of the time we try to work out in our minds every single step on how to get to our desired destination or achieve a certain goal. But he says, lay that all down, let that all go, and I will help you day by day. There's an image, I don't know if you've seen it. I've seen it come up on my feed before, and it's this little stick man cartoon, and he's climbing a ladder, and the step in front of him isn't there, but as he reaches up, it appears. And then as he reaches up again, another one appears. And then so he's walking step by step. And this is exactly what God does. He doesn't give us all the answers, but he gives us just what we need to take the next step. And then he reveals a little bit more and a little bit more. And it's just a nicer way of living your life, not having to think too far ahead, worry about today. Tomorrow has enough of its own issues. It's just relaxing. It's actually, it seems like a burden at the start to follow and be obedient to Christ, but it's actually such a relief when you're in it. You're like, oh wow, this is so much better than trying to figure it out all on my own. So I just wrote something little down here that I wanted to read to you guys before we finish, just to kind of help and not make everything seem so intense and harsh and whatnot. So this is just what I feel God is saying. Don't worry if all of this doesn't make sense right now. I don't need you to understand everything just yet, but I need you to let go of control that you have in your life. I need you to quiet your heart so you can hear me speak more clearly. Don't worry that you don't have everything figured out. As you come away from the noise and prioritize me, you will start to understand. Keep your eyes and ears open to what I will be revealing to you. Your dreams are not out of reach, but you must let me guide you. I am not a God of lack or confusion. I am a God of prosperity, abundance, and peace. And this is the truth of the matter, guys. Everything he wants for us is what we really desire in our soul. And we get so misled by the way the world works and the way society is set up. And he brings us back to who we're supposed to be. And it really feels like you're coming home when you step into this. But I want to encourage you today, if you feel like you want some guidance in your life, but you don't know what he could be saying, come away from the noise. If you've got a super busy life, there's just a lot happening, there's a lot of noise. Step away from something that you can step away from, so that you could just spend a little bit more time with the Lord, either in his word or in prayer, and you'll start to hear what he's saying to you, and it will be able to guide you and get you on a straighter path that will help you. And lead you to peace and joy and prosperity and abundance and everything our soul desires. So hopefully that wasn't too much. I feel like we haven't gone too far over, well, not over time, but you know what I mean, like I haven't rambled on for too long. Thank you if you stayed till the end. I hope this inspired you guys today to not think that obedience is such a negative thing. And yeah, I will catch you on the next one. Love and blessings.